All right, we have another book to talk about. We are going into... Yeah, let's do it. Scout Comics, baby. Let's do it. Use code Tom101 on Scout Comics to get a discount. They're homies. I don't get any money for it. We love Scout. They're an amazing company. Shout out James Haig. You're just going to get a discount of some kind. They change the discount. They make it 30% sometimes. Use code Tom101 over there to hook yourself up. Because Scout Comics is one of the best independent comic companies since Image Comics. I've said that multiple times. Their portfolio is vast, and their creative
lot of
team
different stuff.
is amazing.
Like I've seen, I'm thinking of Vault Comics as an indie publisher I like, who seems to specialize in horror.
Right.
But Scout has pretty much every genre in
We're
there.
reading about, dude, when was the last time we read about a superhero comic book from Scout? Like, we talk about horror books, relationship books.
They don't do a lot of superhero stuff, do they?
I think they
Impossible
do.
Jones, kind of?
But even really. Then, that's kind of superhero-y, but that's more anti-hero, villainy kind of, humor.
Comedy
this right here
thing.
is this is a superhero world. It's mature.
Yeah.
I mean, they're smoking pot. They're having sex. Not every Scout title is okay for the whole family.
No, just the Scoop books.
That's the Scoop books.
Yeah.
Which we also are very supportive of the Scoop books. But Distorted, who do we got?
Speaking of Scoop books, did you notice Nate Johnson's name on the inside cover of this book?
I did. Yeah. He helped put it together.
He's on the design page, the production team.
Yeah, we got homies.
It's just cool. It's cool to see.
We got homies, comic fam. We got homies.
But the actual creative team of this book, the writer and artist, covered by the thing over there.
Yeah, keep going though.
It's also, I can't remember. I'm fairly certain this book is translated.
It could be. I'm getting the name of the
You have it down here?
Oh, it's right here. Boom.
I apologize.
Salvatore Vinvenzio.
And yeah, that's the writer. And the art is done by Gabriele Falzoni.
There it is. Distorted. This is a superhero tale that I'm very hyped about because I like Scout so much, and there's not a whole lot of superhero stuff that is as world building as this. This right here is a change in human beings' evolution similar to the X-Men. They even kind of poke fun at that.
They do directly mention that in here, which is kind of interesting to see.
People are starting to experience having powers, and there are government agencies having to deal with it.
I like how they highlight it here, like the abilities with the blue kind of circle highlighting the hand here. Is it telekinesis?
Yeah, it's telekinesis for sure.
They're changing the radio dial without actually touching it. And, I also love the letters here in that bottom panel. Like, there's a lot of times in this book where, I never say this, but, I like the letters. That doesn't usually come out of my brain.
Well, you know, it's because we have a good letterer, like a really good letterer, not just someone who's getting the job done with placement, but they're going out of their way to make the static.
Right.
Static, we just chatted about that. This right here is another area where I was constantly stopping in my tracks going, oh, I'm really appreciative of this type of stuff.
That could have just been another speech bubble.
It could have been. They didn't need it. But it makes the comic stand out. We're following two different stories in this run.
It's complex.
You know what? I would actually, I think that this is an important one to read the synopsis beforehand because otherwise it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I was confused. I did not take this extra step that you did and read the synopsis of the book.
We're following in one half of the book a character named James, who is a high school student, into girls, chilling with his friends, smoking ganja, and he's also experiencing an emergence of new powers. He has telekinesis, and he's kind of showing it off to his friends. And yeah, to the point where he's able to snap his fingers and
lock his car.
But
See, I didn't pick up on that. I thought he was just using his keys but you could see the snap.
I gotta say too, it flows really well.
There's
this is a
details.
writer who is working with his artist very closely because they're able to communicate the narrative with not a whole lot of dialogue, and I appreciate that. I feel like it's not he's not relying on the artist to tell the story. He's doing kind of a Steve Niles type of thing where he's communicating per panel what you need to do to make the story flow, progress. The pacing is stellar.
Yeah, they do a good job in this sequence of outlining this kid's telekinesis without hammering you over the head with it.
Look at this.
It just happens.
Boom.
Like he walks past his sleeping dad in the living room who knocks off a beer bottle on the chair, and the kid just grabs it with telekinesis and puts it back so that it doesn't shatter on the floor and wake his dad up.
And we get a lot of examples of that. He's just learning to use his powers like any kid would. And there's a lot of music in this as well. That was another thing.
Weird connective tissue to the last
Why
book.
is there so much music in our comics today? All right, but look at this. We have another person named Tom. Ooh. All right, we have a government agent, as he's a private eye, and he's working for a government agency whose job it is to find these individuals who have their powers emerging, because we're learning in this world that these powers aren't just as simple as telekinesis or as, fun as moving something around or lighting something on fire.
That's maybe the most interesting thing about this book is the way it's affecting society at large is like kind of unpredictable and dangerous at times.
Look at this. We have a character in a story that he's learning about that's like, not character story. We have Tom realizing about an event where this person, when put into a fight or flight mode, exploded and killed a bunch of individuals.
A 5-year-old, it says.
Yeah, 5-year-old.
Yeah. So it's like not just teenagers like X-Men is. It doesn't affect you at puberty. It could be like anybody anywhere all around the world.
Yeah, this is in Brazil, for example.
Yeah, it's very unpredictable, and it really reminded me of Heroes, the TV show, where you're introduced to a vast amount of characters, all who have different powers. And at the very beginning of the story, you're pretty overwhelmed and kind of confused. Who am I following? Who's this again? What's their power again? What's happening here? Is this person good or bad?
But the thing is that if you go into it knowing that there are two stories playing out parallel to each other,
right,
it makes it make sense a bit more, which is why I think it's an important review to get out there, because I cannot recommend this enough. This is a lot of fun. This is another example of someone who has this distorted gene where it's manifesting powers. Someone working in an office is just getting so pissed that he blew up the entire office floor.
Quite literally with that sound effect.
Yeah, that's what happened. Almost brought the whole thing down. So Tom has to go and deal with some stuff. Clearly, he's interested in this person who's putting him on this task because they have a relationship. And let's see here. We are introduced to both characters within 2 issues, because there's only 2 issues that are out. But the antagonist, the worst of the distorted, are what is going to get you really pulled in.
That's what grabbed me.
Because some of these individuals, they have powers that are like, this person got really upset, so he just kind of caused a mind bomb kind of thing to go off. This other person blew up in flames, kind of like instant, spontaneous combustion. Okay. Yeah, these are some hardcore powers. Telekinesis, sure. Tom can read people's minds. Awesome. There's a kid who throws up acid. Like it's freaking alien, a xenomorph.
She kills her dog on accident, right? She gets sick and just like projectile vomits onto her pet and kind of melts her own dog, which is horrifying and disgusting all at once and so cool.
But some of these antagonists, well, actually, we get introduced to one antagonist specifically.
Yeah, the girl isn't really an antagonist. She's
just
someone
a kid
who's
help.
Kind of cursed with a horrible power.
Right.
It's not really beneficial. And imagine if that was on your X-Men team, just like someone who barfs.
There is someone on the X-Men team who does that.
Who barfs?
Yeah, Mike Allred's creation, who was in Deadpool, the Deadpool movie.
Oh.
Yeah, he throws up, and that's his thing. Someone in the chat help me. I'm forgetting. I'm
not an X-Men person.
It's like a name. It's of course a name. It's like one name. It's like one word. I'm forgetting. Someone in the chat help me. You know what I'm talking about.
Barf.
No, that's not it. But Mike Allred made him. So we have an antagonist who is looking to eat other distorted individuals.
Yeah, there's a cannibal guy in this book.
There's a cannibal.
It's scary. It's got it gives this book like a weird serial killer kind of horror flavor that I wasn't expecting either. It's a cool mix of things you're used to, like telekinesis and mind reading and stuff you've seen before, but also with this weird acid vomit cannibal twist that comes at you out of nowhere that is really unexpected and cool. Also
interesting that this is the second time we talked about cannibalism on the show today.
Weird.
What is happening? We're not even planning this. We pick these comics because they look interesting.
And then we find ways
know
to
that we're
them.
excited, and then boom, there's just like these threads that we just weave like we're damn Scarlet the Spider,
This book has hit $20. Let off the gas, comic fan, unless you're really gunning for some jackfruit goodness.
$75 cover price on this. Don't overbid. But if somebody wants it, we got it.